Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. This is Ro Leather, Certified Career Coach, and our topic today is how to fix a boring resume. All right, so what makes a resume boring? I have read thousands of resumes in my 13 plus years of career coaching, so I have plenty of experience with this. And the most common thing that I see in boring resumes is that it reads like a laundry list. Bulleted, one word, two word listings, communication, leadership, problem solving. It doesn't give any details. There's nothing there, right? So there's no content. There's no description. You're not telling the reader anything. And when you're not telling the reader anything, you're not telling your story because you've given no information. And when you have given no information, there's no action to show energy at all. And so it reads like a list. So how do we stop that? Well, let's go over a few things that you should not be doing. You should stop using colors and graphics to fill space. You're not fooling anybody. Putting a banner of pretty colors around your resume is just there to fill gaps or fill space. And then we just talked about not using list. You do not want to list your skills. And using words that don't convey action, boring words that are not descriptive, that don't illustrate, those words don't add anything to your resume or to your description. And then assuming the reader understands your acronyms, those coming out of a technical background love to use their acronyms. But one thing to keep in mind is the reader may not understand your acronyms for a couple of reasons. One is they're not in your industry, and two, industries, similar industries, or non-related industries may use the same acronyms. So you want to make sure that whatever information you're providing is going to be clear. Write them out first, and then you can parenthesize the acronym, and moving forward, you can just refer to it using the acronym. And the other thing is thinking that small details are important. Repetitive words, words that just taking the time to just describe your routine daily task. If, for example, I've seen people put that they are customer service and their entries are helping customers and helping customers. That's the obvious thing. The goal is to stand out, and those don't make you stand out. And then we just talked about redundancy. I've seen 3 pages, a resume that's 3 pages long, where basically the first page is repeated over and over and over for each job entry, because they held the same job at different times, different places. They thought it was acceptable to just repeat the job description over and over and over again. No. So how do we fix this? All right, so instead of doing what we just said not to do, what you need to do is add relevant information. You need to describe your activities to convey your passion for your industry, for your work, the contributions that you've made. Include your hobbies that support and convey relevant skills and competencies. You need to be able to show that you're not applying for this job and that all of a sudden you're this, this role. You want to show a history of it, how you've grown into this position. And that could really start from the very beginning, maybe starting from hobbies and then into your college years and then into your adult jobs. And then what you have to keep in mind is when you're telling, when your resume is telling your story. So when you are describing your, let's say, one job and you're talking about skills, finish that story. What happened? So you led a project with 4 people and you created this campaign. What happened? Finish your story and tell the reader how the campaign was utilized, applied, implemented, and the outcomes. Outcomes are so important because the outcomes convey your effectiveness. And so now you're probably asking, so well, how do I even know what what the reader wants to know, what the employer wants to know. Use the target job as your guide in choosing the information to include. It's a help wanted sign. They're talking about what they need. Use that as your guide to create a resume that says, I'm what you need. You're looking for people who know how to do this. I have done this in this job, in this job, in this job. Basically, what I'm saying is lead the reader. Help the reader understand how to hire you. That's it. I know I'm glossing over this, but I wanted to make sure I got this in short and sweet so that you understand. My hope is that you now have a different perspective of what a resume should be and the message that it sends. That's all I got today. If you have any questions, and some of you might, you can email me at 3 a.m. Career Coach or drop a comment in below, and I will come back and hopefully give you the information that you were looking for. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.